Jonathan Godfrey, on-site wastewater professionals, coming to you from Indianapolis at the Wet Show 2025. And I'm here with Jenny and Brett with Norweco, and we are talking advanced treatment and a simple solution for folks looking for a good option in that market. What do we got here today, Brett?
All right, Jonathan. Well, here today we have the Singular Green system with an optional integrated hydrokinetic biofilm reactor. So the Singular portion of the system is the exact same as we exhibited last year at the Wet Show, except this one, instead of having an optional integrated pump chamber, it has an optional integrated polishing filter called the hydrokinetic biofilm reactor. So, just like we mentioned last year, this is the pre-treatment chamber of the Singular Green system. This is a 450-gallon, again, to the design level, capacity chamber. It's going to have 18-hour retention of the average daily flow. What's very important about this is this is where the non-biological material is going to settle out. The biological material is going to remain, and it's actually going to then make it to the aeration chamber for further treatment.
It's going to be an important part of the process as we move through. Now, this is our septic tank. We're not looking for any additional tankage on this. This is going to make for a small package and a simple install, right?
That is correct. And I'll tell you, not only do you not need to have a septic tank in front of the Singular technology, we very strongly, absent unique circumstances, actually recommend against having an additional upstream septic tank.
Settle out. Biological products moving onward.
Yep. So the next chamber is the aeration chamber, right? So this is where it's a transition from the anaerobic to the aerobic. So this is a 600-gallon chamber to the design level. And this is where air is going to be introduced to the wastewater by virtue of the Singular aerator. I mentioned to you before we started taping here that we now offer, in addition to the 206C aerator, which you're seeing here, we offer a new low-profile 225L aerator, which is going to help our partners reduce the profile of the system by 6 inches, but the tankage remains the same. There is no change in the tankage. As a matter of fact, the only difference is it's going to have a 6-inch less, or the aeration riser is going to be reduced by 6 inches.
A little bit less to see in the yard.
Exactly.
Right? Homeowners are going to love that.
That's exactly right. So
we're not only, you said, aerating in here, we're also rotating, we're spinning?
That's correct. So the aerator is going to be delivering 3 cubic feet per minute of air while operational, while spinning counterclockwise at 1,725 revolutions per minute.
Aeration and agitation to really move that dissolved oxygen content throughout that chamber.
That's exactly right. And I just want to point out too that regardless of which model you use, whether it's our Model 960, which is the NSF Standard 40 certified model, or the Model TNT, the aerator will only be operational for half the time. So in the case of the Standard 40, it's 30 on, 30 off. In the case of our TNT, the Standard 40 and 245, it's going to be operational for 60 minutes, followed by a 60-minute anoxic cycle.
So we get two different conditions in there. Fantastic. So aeration, and then we're moving by gravity.
That's correct. So the aeration chamber is going to be 24-hour retention of the daily average daily flow, and then it's going to move into the clarification chamber. So the clarification chamber is a 250-gallon chamber to the design level. And I do just want to point out, this is a good place to stop and point out, there's about 200 gallons of freeboard area, right, from the pre-treatment chamber through the clarification chamber. That's important to talk about here in a minute. Flow then transfers into the clarifier, and it's very important. I want to point out in here 2 things. We have the biostatic sludge return. So that's very important. Solids that come from aeration are going to be directed downward to the bottom of the Singular or Singular Green system. So you can see there that sloped clarifier. Also in here, this is a great time to show our biokinetic system. So regardless of whether it's a Singular Green or Singular Concrete system, or a larger capacity in the case of the Singular Concrete, there will always be a biokinetic system or systems, depending on the size, at the outlet. This is both a filter and a flow equalization unit, and also an NSF standard 46 and 385 certified disinfection device when that's required.
Right, so sludge returns back through that sludge return gets picked back up, further digested in the process.
That's correct. So any settled sludge, any sludge will settle at the bottom of the clarifier. And you can see too, I don't know if you've gotten a picture there of the transfer port that's between the clarifier and the aeration chamber. But when the aerator is activated, that settled sludge will be directed back into the aeration chamber for further treatment.
Very good. It's going to maintain a relatively manageable level of solids and material over here.
That's
if we're
exactly
constantly
right.
consuming that.
And that's exactly right. And it's going to limit very significantly the accumulation of solids throughout the entire Singulair system.
Very good. So for some of our applications, this is enough for many states. But if you needed more, because really high standards, discharge standards, or some state codes that are going to require a very, very polished effluent, there's more that can be done.
So that's exactly right. And so Norweco, first and foremost, they've invested in different molds that allow for the formation of these connection points. And I just want to point out here, so you can see at the outlet of the biofilm reactor, you can see that there are connection points there. And that is something that's going to allow us to continue to innovate singular green technology. But talking about what we have here, this is a polishing filter, right? We talk about the singular green system. There is 4 inches of fall from inlet to outlet. In the biofilm reactor, there is 1 inch of fall from inlet to outlet. Flow is directed inward. It's going to be directed downward. Yeah, it's going to pass through here, and it's going to be
pushed upward.
That's exactly right. It's going to be distributed beneath these 2 media elements that our colleagues who are production technicians are going to install in the outlet of the BFR. And what you're going to see after just a few days of operation, you're going to see a really healthy biofilm develop on these media elements, right? Okay. That's very important. So as that already treated effluent is directed through there, it will further polish the effluent to extremely high levels, right? So we're talking 10 and 10 on average for BOD and solids. Because of the extra retention time that's afforded by virtue of having this biofilm reactor, it also has a significant effect on further reduction of other constituents. So we're talking total nitrogen, total phosphorus, things like that. But again, this is really, we want to talk about polishing of the effluent, the further reduction of BOD and solids as it passes through, and then eventually, of course, is going to go out into the world, whether it's a direct discharge or into an unlocked disposal area.
And you have possibility of UV disinfection, whatever else on the back end of that.
Well, that's correct. So in Pennsylvania, for example, our what they call small flow, so that's a direct discharge, is going to be this system. In other words, the Singular or Singular Green Model 960, followed by the biofilm reactor, followed by our AT1500 UV disinfection system. So that will allow effluent to be disposed of even in the highest quality streams in the state of Pennsylvania. The Singular Green Model 960, followed by the BFR, is also our TL3 approved system in both Virginia, the other one in Virginia being our TNT, and also Colorado as well. So TL3 is a very high level treatment requirement that's going to be looking to have 10 and 10 milligram per liter of BOD and solids respectively.
All right, well, innovation once again, an additional add-on. And this could be built to suit individual state code as far as, do I need the additional polishing unit? Do I not need it? It could be tailored to fit the need. Right?
That's correct. This is just an optional the polishing filter, but as you mentioned, the actual system is pre-treatment to right here at the outlet of the clarifier.
Easy to install.
Very easy.
Comes pre-assembled, just kind of plug and play work, right?
That is correct. We offer to our partners pre-assembled, and that will make it very easy for them not only to install, but also to deliver to the job site.
Now, great option for advanced treatment if you need that. Brett, Jenny, where do they find information about this? How can they get in touch with you guys?
I'll tell you, the best thing to do is call 1-800-NORWECO or www.norweco.com. And again, give us a call or our customer service team. We'll be happy to provide more information.
Fantastic. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks so much, Jonathan. We appreciate it.
Thank you.